Good morning. How are you? I'm Paula Kovanik-Spiro. I'm the Administrative Director at the Brave Trauma Recovery Center in Buffalo, New York.
And I'm Brianna Hill. I'm the program director for the Brave Trauma Recovery Center here. Paul and I are both co-directors for the program.
And we're going to answer some questions about our experience with the relational model. So, Brianna, what was attractive or helpful about the relational model that made you reach out about it?
Well, I was fortunate enough to be able to go to Ruby's Place to visit their TRC to see how they functioned. And when I was there, we were introduced to the relational model, and it just clicked. I think up until that point, we were looking for ways to develop a framework for all of the things that the relational model contains. How do we find a balance between, work and home life? How do we find joy in our work? How do we have difficult conversations so that we can continue to grow? How do we make sure that we're maintaining a trauma-informed lens when we're working with clients? And the relational model really seemed to capture all of those elements. So it really drew us in to be able to learn more about it. Paula, what leadership lessons do you think that we've gained from the in-person training?
Well, Brianna, I think there's been a couple. The first one, I think it helped us normalize how to navigate conflict and difficult conversations in a much more productive way rather than a punitive way. So in other words, it was this idea that we can have conflict or disagree within our team, but use that from a growth perspective versus punishing someone or telling someone that they did something wrong. I think it also helped us shift from a very traditional model of how staff are providing supervision, and helped us and asked our staff to provide us feedback. And then finally, it allows us to share power with staff. It gives them an active voice within our process, within our program, and helps us grow as leaders.
And what do you think the impact has been from the coaching lessons with the Ruby's Place executive team?
I think first of all, it showed us the importance of supervision, that we as leaders also needed supervision and not just clinical supervision. So how do we grow as leaders? How do we provide feedback to our staff? How do we help our program focus on our core values? It also helped us understand each other's strengths and where our opportunities are for improvement. And I think probably the biggest lesson was that it helps us trust each other, not feel like one of us needs to pick up pieces or the other one. I think that has been one of the most productive parts about the model for us.
And I think that if we were to have a message to other leaders that might be considering the relational model or considering working with this team, it really would be that the coaching, the time that we have spent with their leadership has really been individualized. Yes, we're learning this model, we're bringing in the relational model, but it's also about learning about ourselves, right? How do we respond in stress? How do we respond with staff? How do we share power as well as sharing power with our staff? So it's been really personalized, it's been individualized. It gives us an opportunity to maybe share things in a safe space that we can't share within the larger agency that we work in. And it allows for time to practice these skills with our staff, as well as then be able to bring it back and debrief with their leadership as well as with each other. So I think we'd highly recommend the coaching for any leaders that are looking for a different way of doing things.